Is it the same between men and women cheating? Let's start with the ladies actually. Ladies first. Is it the same?
I feel like it is.
It is?
I feel like it. Because what's the point? My thing is, if you're cheating, what's the point of being in a relationship?
That's actually kind of a good point.
Because if you feel like you can talk to multiple people, then we don't need to be in a relationship, or we need to have a understanding.
Okay. I can understand. What do you think?
No.
It's not the same?
No.
You don't think cheating is the same between men and women?
Well, I think fundamentally, yes, it's the same. But
But
I
how's
think
it different?
men think that they can have friendships and behave in a way with women that if their partner were to behave in that way, it would not be
So it's
okay.
definitely different.
Totally different.
Totally different, yeah.
Totally
Okay.
different.
Okay. Phil, what do you think, bro?
Yeah, I'm going to say that it's fundamentally different. Women cheat because of a different reason than men would cheat, so 100% different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so like I would say, because you said you don't think it's different, like it's completely different because if a woman cheats, it's over. Like and a woman already cheated like before, like she emotionally cheated in some way before she actually had sex with the guy. Whereas like a guy can legitimately go and like have sex with a woman and come back home to his wife and his kids and still love everybody the same, and like he's not like running off and like destroying the whole family. And like women legitimately destroy their family when they do it.
Now, I can say with this generation and nowadays, these females, they don't care. But also, I feel like when a female cheats, like you said, it's really the relationship is over with because of the fact that once we cheat, it became a level of I'm emotionally not in.
Yeah, you're completely checked out, right?
Yes, like I don't put up with you for so long, so it's like now it's like, why am I with you? But that's why I say it's time to leave.
So it is but we can kind of understand it is completely different between men and women, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, we could say that.
Yeah. I would say it goes back to more of like the fundamental dynamic between men and women, and that men still see women as like, this is mine. And so when a woman cheats,
like a sex object,
they're offended by it. They're offended. They feel like their territory has been crossed. Versus for a man, it's like they can explain it as like attention and I just didn't know she was listening to me, and I didn't know that was going to happen. And that's why for me, like with my boyfriend all the time, I'm like, no, she ain't being friendly to you, honey. Like, no, we don't have no, no, because that's what it is. When a woman cheats, the man is hurt and disrespected. Versus when a man cheats, I think that
are you not hurt and disrespected?
Totally hurt and disrespected, but I think that
different.
It's
a different kind of hurt.
I mean, for me, no, but I think that it's seen different between the sexes.
So, like, have y'all ever been with somebody who cheated? Like, both y'all? Have y'all both been with somebody in a relationship where you were cheated on?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. For you in that relationship, was he the type of guy that got women easily, or was he the type of guy that he had a hard time getting women?
Well, with him, it was easy for him to get one, but the problem was, I didn't give him no attention at first, and he tried to get with me for the longest. And when I finally gave him the opportunity or whatever, we was good for about a year, and then that's when he cheated or whatever.
But he was he was the type of guy that other girls would want. You would say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So if you could say that this is like kind of like an attractive guy, and other women would want him, do you think that like women going for him and pursuing him and like trying to have sex with him, do you think it's harder for a guy to resist that than say a woman that has men that are pursuing her the same?
I feel like it is, but it shouldn't.
It shouldn't be.
I think it's
but you feel like it is though.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think?
I think it's naive. They're naive. I think
the guys or the girls?
Men are a little bit naive, and I think especially men sometimes that do or don't get attention, and then I'm not excusing it, but I think women know we're manipulative, conniving. Like, I can see a female talking to my man, and I'm like, I know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And my boyfriend's like, she's just being friendly. I'm like, no.
So explain how he's naive though. So like if the guy cheats, like how is he naive? Like how is that connected?
Well, I'm saying my boyfriend has never cheated.
Yeah, but like compared to like we were talking about that example that
men nowadays want their cake and eat it too. That's
Mhm.
another problem. They
Okay.
want to have their little friend over
Well,
here.
I'm gonna break down a little science for you. So I'll tell you why guys cheat, or like a
Please.
guy who's attractive would exercise the option. Men have 14 times, actually, I'm sorry, 17 times the testosterone flowing through them that you do. Okay, so like that horniness level is directly tied to that testosterone level. Okay, so you really can't even fathom what it feels like to be as horny as a guy, or like how sexually stimulated we can be by air blowing across our dick. You really cannot even fathom it, not even close to like what we feel. Like I would say a woman at her peak, like horniness at 2 weeks after her period doesn't even come close to a guy that's like young and in his prime or something like that. So I just don't think that there's a huge issue today where we like to think men and women are the same, or like cheating, is the same between us. And it's not at all, because that temptation that guy had to go through is completely different than like what the woman had to go through. And anything that is anything that is hard is respected. So for a guy to get sex, it is hard. Usually, if we look at the stats, 33% of men are virgins and or haven't had sex over the last year in between the ages of 18 and 30. I know, I see this face
Is
every time
that
I say
true?
that.
That is fact.
It's a fact.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, most guys don't get sex, honestly. Most don't. So like whenever you look at stuff like that, those guys that do get it, it's for a reason. He's attractive. He has something going for him that's better than the other guys and stuff like that. So I just really don't think that you should judge those type of guys, because that's just a certain caliber of guy. Like you shouldn't, if you don't like that, then you shouldn't pursue those type of guys. Like
I'm
there's a
not
lot of guys
judging.
out here who can't cheat even if they wanted to. Like I would say most 90% of men couldn't cheat if they wanted to. So like if you want, you can choose a good normal guy, but most women choose those guys that have those options. And I don't think that we should hate them for that, because it's just like those guys are literally just being normal for them. Like, and we're not the same. Men and women are just not. We like to blank slate everything and think that it's the same. It's not the same. Like a woman really hates it when a guy cheats with his provisioning sometimes, like his money, energy, attention, and his time. But a guy really hates it when a woman cheats with her body, because for 300,000 years we couldn't tell if the baby was ours.
Yes.
There was no way of telling if that was our baby or not. So we really give a about who's in your. Like we really care about it, and like you really care about if I'm going and blowing a bunch of money on a bunch of other women or hookers or something, because that's our ability to save in the future. So like we both have different things that we see loyalty through. Loyalty is not the same for us.
So I don't judge the cheating, and I agree with you on that. I typically don't go for a guy. If I see a guy, like some of my girlfriends will send me these guys and they're like TikTok famous, and I'm like, I don't want a man that has that much attention. I go for a guy that is the undiscovered gem in the room. So I typically steer away from guys that have that type of temptation. And
Yeah.
my ex has been very, very attractive man, not charming, not a womanizer, not a conversation
At least
person.
you're honest.
But
yeah.
I liked that because I never worried. And I was a military wife. So cheating is not a deal breaker for me, and I don't judge it.
Yeah, 'cause
There
you know
was
that
always
happens in the
there was
military
always a
lot.
period where he
Oh,
would come
yeah.
back and I would say, This is your time. If there's anything I need to know about, please let me know. Don't make a fool of me. Let's talk about it, put it on the table. So I don't judge at all, and I don't go for those types of guys because I don't like to.
You don't want to worry about it. You don't want to think
It's
about
just
it.
it's just too much.
Yeah.
I'm too old. It's too much. So I agree with you on that, but I don't judge. I think people do things for different reasons, and I mean,
The biggest thing is, like I said, we're just completely different. Like a woman who leaves her marriage and just completely destroys a family because the guy stepped out one time over like a 5-year marriage or something
I
like
don't
that.
agree with that.
It's like, come on, like you have a whole family and kids together, like, and it's just not the same. Like I could understand if we were emotionally the same, but we're just not emotionally the same. Like he's still gonna come back home and love you and the family the same. And if she did it, she's not gonna love you anymore.
How can a man love a woman that they cheated on, though?
I'll explain to you. So like women have a really hard time understanding this because you personally, you're going to project to how you see it, okay? And you see it just like how we always tell you, you better not have sex with nobody else. Like that's mine, you know? So you're thinking the same thing because sex is very valuable to you. Deep down in your heart, you know it's super valuable. But for a guy, it is not the same. Guys want quantity, women want quality. You want the best quality dick you can get. We want quantity sometimes, especially guys who got it like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like, just don't choose those guys that got it like that. You know.
But it's okay for y'all to cheat. But when we cheat,
I'm never saying what's okay and what's wrong, like what's wrong or what's right. I'm just going to tell you what is. And the fact of the matter is there's certain calibers of guys that have women throwing themselves. Look, I'm not even one of those guys. I don't go to the gym. I don't do any of that stuff like that. I still had it really easy, okay? So these guys that got it like that are 6'4", they just look, they got that look or whatever it is. I can't even fathom it. I cannot even fathom how many women are throwing themselves at them. In the Tinder studies that we see, it's 4.5%. The top 4.5% guys get all swiped on.